Hey everybody, I'm Sandy Hibbard, owner of Sandy Hibbard Creative in Dallas, Texas. And just like many of you female business owners, I have so many stories that I could share about the ups and downs and challenges of running my own business over the last 21 years. So, in celebration of Women's History Month, I've asked some of my friends and colleagues to share their stories and experiences about running their own woman-owned business. Let's take a listen and be inspired. And remember, your story is our history. Enjoy. I want to start off with my daughter-in-law, Miss April Judkins, who lives out in Utah. She has been on the forefront of so many things happening in social media in her past career and has launched 2 new companies on the creative front. With no hesitation whatsoever. She sees something that she wants to do. She has a creative mind to create the vision for it and then execute away. So let's hear what April has to say.
Hi, my name is April Judkins. I'm owner of Amaranth and Flora and former owner of Stay Gold Photo Parlor. And Sandy asked me today to talk about my biggest challenges in being a business owner, especially from the perspective of starting your own business. And I would say through all of the challenges, because as we know, women in business, there are a lot. My number one challenge was understanding my value. Not necessarily every client is your client. You need to know what you're worth, know how hard you work, understand that every level of training and every level of practice and even every failure is a part of your story and a part of your ultimate success now today. So both of the businesses I have owned or currently own are service oriented and they have a strong creative element to them. And so not every client understands the value in those educational courses and those trial and error efforts that you've done, and especially in the age of social media, which social media is amazing. It is a huge tool and a huge resource, and it's a fantastic way of not only just building inspiration but building a community around yourself, which I'm a huge advocate for that. Find your people people who support you, support your value, know your worth, and really go for it. Push. Another thing I would have to say is very important is don't always expect perfection. I have seen so many of my counterparts and people that I really value, and they have got skill sets that I wish that I had, but they just expect perfection. And in the world of social media, you don't see everything that goes into that epic, glorious, gorgeous photo, or that perfect sale, or that perfect home, or that perfect photo shoot, or that perfect wedding, or whatever your industry may be. It takes a tribe. It takes so much more than what is seen by just the visible eye in that one shot or that one video or that quick little blurb that goes out. So not everything is perfection, and especially in the industry that I work in with florals, every single bloom is different. Every single bloom has its challenge and has its life, and it's ending. So it's not going to be perfect. So don't get tied up in the expectations of perfection before you put yourself out there, because what is perfect these days anyways?
Next up is my dear friend Janelle Ralston, broker and agent for the Indigo Sky Group here in Dallas. Janelle is an amazing person. She's always going to be on the forefront of what's new and what's happening, and here's why.
One of the biggest challenges for me owning my own business is making sure that I'm doing the right things, that I'm focused and doing the things I need to do every day to move the needle, generate revenue, and scale the business, instead of doing administrative or support tasks that other members of my team can do. Of course, it means having the right people in place to do those things, but it also means giving up control. I have to remember that they can do those things as good, probably even better than I can. I have to give up my idea of what it would be like to do it perfectly, and I have to stop jumping into the middle of something they're struggling with to do it for them. That can be a daily struggle for me sometimes, but I know when I do that, then I can really do the activities I need to do and move the business forward.
Next up is Donna Bender, a very good friend of mine who I've done business with for over 10 years here in Dallas, Fort Worth. If you need a connection, if you need to know how to network, and if you need to be coached on great ways to market your business, Donna is the lady. Listen to her story.
Hi, I'm Donna Bender, and my company, the Donna Bender Company, offers branded marketing and promotional strategies. And I help my clients build their business by keeping them visible in front of their clients. And I love it, and it's very creative. And 15 years ago, when I moved to Dallas, I knew nothing about it. And I came with a fashion background, and I was unsure of what I wanted to do in Dallas. My main concern was getting my daughter situated in 10th grade. And then when she said she loved it here, I went, okay, now what am I going to do? And so someone mentioned promotional products and corporate gifts. And at first I was not interested. And then I thought about, well, if I could make it more of an extension of who I am and the kinds of brands that I worked for, then I would give a go at it. And so here I was in a brand new city. I didn't know a soul, in a new industry I knew nothing about. And I did it 360 degrees different than everyone else. And what I mean by that is that most people in my industry will find a product and call every one of their clients and say, you must have this. Well, when you don't know anybody and you have no clients to call, you're forced to do things differently. And so I networked. And I use networking as one of my biggest marketing factors. And I would meet people all the time. And I would sit there and I would have my mental Rolodex going off in my head, thinking of all the different things and different people I could introduce this person to, because I really believe in giving value first. And so that's how I built my relationship, just on trust and by getting to know people. And today, actually next week, I will be celebrating 14 years of having my own business. And I am a true believer in the most important thing to a successful business is building relationships. And so networking for me was the biggest factor that helped build my business. So I hope.
In this final video, my friend Nancy, who is a magazine publisher and beloved real estate celebrity, if you will, here in Dallas, tells us of her experience in building her business.
Hey everyone, it's Nancy with the Real Estate Influencers magazine. Look, I just happen to have one here. I have been self-employed 28 years. I got to stay at a home office all that time. So I was home officing before it was cool. I also got to work while my kids were sick, which doesn't sound like fun, except that when you work from an office and you have to worry about how your kids are doing, you have them a few rooms away, you can go check on them. And so that's been a blessing. It also gave enormous flexibility to be available for kids, school activities, field trips, whatever. I think the biggest challenge is being okay with staying small. If you compare yourself to other people, you're going to make yourself crazy. So I stayed small, but it allowed me to manage the workload and know that, when it was due, it was going to be done because it was me doing it. I would say probably another challenge is finding people with the same work ethic. So I think you can figure that out pretty early on. And if you can find somebody with a great work ethic, go for it. So it's been a blessing. I had no idea I would ever be self-employed, but I've done it 28 years. So I would be happy to help you if you have any questions, because I have winged it, figured it out on my own, and it's been a lot of fun. So good luck to you.
I want to remind everybody that your story is our history, and it's when we all pull together to share, to support each other, to inspire each other, that's when real success happens. As for me, I've been running my business for over 20 years. And let me tell you, the biggest challenge that I've had, and this isn't a secret, has been me. Sometimes my laziness, sometimes my unmotivatedness, sometimes my insecurity. I mean, all of those things. And I think if you are watching and you're a woman, you totally relate to that. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. So having that self-talk, working on myself to make myself a better human being helps me in being a better business owner. Having a great team behind me that can support and create better than me, smarter than me, is also a key for running a business. So I think one of the biggest struggles is getting the right team together. In fact, my friend Ricky, who lives in Oklahoma City and runs a property management company there, sent me this. She couldn't do a video, but I thought that this was a great text I wanted to share with you. She said that her biggest struggle was getting a super team put together that was efficient and trustworthy. So much of the time, she said, I found myself doing everything, working on the premise that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. I know I can relate to that. Now that I have total, efficient, trustworthy people that I can divide the work between, my job is so much easier. I only work 3 to 4 hours a day now, and I never have to worry when I leave on vacation, which I do a lot now. So that's the key, right? To work and build a life that creates us a good living, creates for us a good living, and gives us the lifestyle that we desire. And women, if anyone's going to do it, we certainly will. So happy Women's History Month to all of you. Remember, your story is our history. Ciao, everybody.